Hi guys, who likes popcorn? I do, which is why today I'm going to be sharing one of my absolute favourite recipes for my salted butterscotch popcorn cheesecake. Now, I'm not talking about eating popcorn by the careful mouthful here. I'm talking about piling it on top of a creamy cheesecake and then slathering it in a salted butterscotch sauce. You don't need a fancy popcorn machine, you just need a saucepan with a lid. And I like to use a nice glass lid so I can see all the popping action going on. We've got about a tablespoon of flavourless oil. I'm going for rapeseed, and that's going in the pan. And then whack the heat on nice and high. You want to get this oil really hot. And put in a pinch of salt as well. I'm just going to put a couple in and put the lid on and wait for them to pop, because then we'll know that it's ready to go. Woo! So once the first ones have popped, put in the rest of your popcorn and pop the lid on, and then just give it a shake to coat it in the oil and the salt, and then put it back on the heat, and then you'll see it rapidly start to pop. I also like to just let a bit of steam out so that the popcorn is nice and crisp and dry. So just let a little bit out. Oh, it's going crazy now. I'm really pleased that popcorn's become much more of a popular snack, because I've always been obsessed with it, and I used to go to the cinema just to eat popcorn, as sad as that sounds. But now we get it in restaurants, and you can buy bags of it in the shops just to snack on. So I'm really happy about that. Right, that's done. When it stops popping regularly, you know it's done. And there might be a few residual ones that keep on popping, but take it off the heat because you don't want it to burn. There's nothing worse than burnt popcorn. Well, there are worse things in life, but for this recipe, you don't want them burnt. So take the lid off and just leave them to cool down. Now it's time to make your biscuity base. And for this, I'm going to use this. You could just use a rolling pin, but this is really good for getting out that aggression. And what you're looking for is this kind of nice breadcrumb consistency. And it doesn't matter if it's not totally uniform. If you've got some slightly bigger crumbs, that's going to be nice for texture. You could also do it in a food processor, but this is quite cathartic, so I do advise doing it like that. These are just going straight into a big bowl, and then put about a handful of the popcorn in there as well. Maybe give it a little bit of a squidge so that you're breaking it up a little bit. And then put this nice melted butter all over that, and just give it a stir till it's all combined. And this is your buttery biscuit base. Then just make sure you've got a lined cake tin like that. I like the springform ones, or the ones with the detachable bases. And put all of that in there and just even it out and press it down. When it's all nice and compressed in the bottom of the cake tin, just pop it in the fridge for 20 minutes or so while you make the filling. Start with 30 grams of butter in a pan, melting, and in with that you're going to put 160 ml of cream and 145 grams of brown sugar, and then a lovely big pinch of salt. And these are all just going to melt together and make a delicious butterscotch sauce. So that's been cooking away now for about 5 minutes, and you can see it's turned into this beautiful, lovely butterscotch sauce. And don't be tempted to stick your finger in it while it's heating up, because you're going to burn yourself. This is hot sugar, and hot sugar burns are the worst, so don't do that. But once it's had a chance to cool down a little bit, taste it, and then decide how much you're going to go in with the salt. I really like to use quite a lot of salt, because I think if you're making a salted butterscotch sauce, it should be nice and salty. And the salt and sweet is just so good together, especially with the popcorn. Now we're going to make the cheesy bit of the cheesecake. And for that, we're going to use some lovely creamy mascarpone. We've got 500 grams of that, which we're going to put into the bowl of our stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, you could just do it in a big bowl with an electric whisk, or even with a hand whisk. And then we've got 100 grams of quark, And quark is a fresh cheese. It's really sharp, it doesn't have any fat in it, and it just brings a lovely sharpness to this. But if you can't find it, then creme fraiche would do just as well. So 100 grams of that going in with the mascarpone. And then just to keep things sweet, we're gonna put 80 grams of icing sugar in there as well. And that's gonna puff up and probably cover me in powder. And when that's all nice and thick and combined, we're going to put in 100 ml of double cream. Pour that in there. I'm gonna add in about half of our butterscotch sauce. So pour that in there. Oh yeah, look at that. So get your base out of the fridge. And that's lovely and hard now and set. And then you're just gonna put your cheese mix over there. And then just spread it all out across your cheesecake base so it's nice and even. And because this is a super easy no-bake cheesecake, we're just gonna put it in the fridge to set for a few hours.
While you're waiting, now's the perfect time to check out some of my other videos. And if you like the channel, then please subscribe.
Right, so the cheesecake's gonna be set now. It's been a couple of hours. Oh yes, looking great. And what we're gonna do is just take it out of this cake tin and then grab your popcorn and first put over some of this butterscotch sauce that we made earlier. Drizzle some of that over here. This is gonna get messy, so don't be precious here. This dish is about abundance and mess and deliciousness. It's not about being perfect with anything, although it's going to taste perfect. And this is where the magic happens. And then just drizzle over your butterscotch sauce. Look at that. Oh yeah. Let's try it out for size. It's delicious. You've got all this creamy, slightly sharpened cream cheese there, and then you've got all the popcorn and the butterscotch sauce on top. It's salty, it's sweet, it's creamy, and it's crunchy. What more could you want in one mouthful? I really hope you like this recipe. Please make it at home. Let me know how you get on. And if you want more recipes like this, then press subscribe. Right, I'm not sure what those digestive biscuits did to me off, but I can't say that, can I? To pee me off? No, not pee, that's... Not sure what those digestives did to annoy me, but what... Not sure what those digestives did to annoy me.